Hey, welcome back. My name is Jayoza. I teach, mentor, and coach people on public speaking so that they can give winning high stakes speeches, whether it's for a job interview, a business or sales meeting, or even at a conference in front of a lot of people. Today, I want to focus on customer service tip. Before I go into the tip, let me just tell you an incident that happened to me recently. So, I'm kind of setting the background here, and then I'll tell you what should have happened. Now, one of the things I want to point out is in customer service, it's not like it's the entire experience, right? So if if you do one part right and then the overall and then you do something wrong at the end, then you don't say, well, half of it was good and half of it was bad. If one part is bad, that means the entire experience is bad, right? And especially the ending is very important because that's how you're leaving the customer. And if that's done well, that customer will come back. In fact, given a choice between the start and the finish, obviously you want to do everything well, start, middle, and finish. The finish is the one you got to do well. That's the one there are no excuses whatsoever because that's the lasting impression before somebody walks out. This was a store. So let me tell you what happened to me. I had to purchase a new running shoes. So I went to this place. It's a running store here in New Jersey. And I went there and I said, listen, I need a running shoes or walking shoes, but they don't have walking shoes. Walking shoes. They said that running shoes would work just as well. So I said, okay, fine. And they had me try different things, measure my shoes, how I'm putting weight. They had all these different equipment there, and that's fine. I had no problem with that, right? And then this woman, the sales associate, gets the shoes and she replaces the insole with the insole that they had. Now, I didn't know what that was. She said, okay, now try this. And then also she told me the socks that I was wearing wasn't right. Put on this different kind of thin layer socks, okay? Nobody's ever done that to me. I didn't, she never bothered to ask me what kind of walking. Now, that might have been important for somebody who's a runner, a competitive runner, but not someone like me who's just walking. I didn't realize that socks were that important, but evidently, with the insole that she replaced from the insole that was already in the shoe that I was trying on, she said, "You need to wear this type of socks." Okay, so up to this, everything is going fine. I picked the shoes, and I have to admit, the sales associate was very helpful in helping me with different shoes. So that part, I have no complaints over. She did everything that I would expect a good sales associate to do. The one thing I would point out is she was not very transparent, and that comes at the end. Okay, so I go and pay for it, and suddenly I look at the total amount, and it's like close to $300, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second, I just wanted a pair of shoes because the one I have is gone, and I wanted something decent so that I don't hurt myself since I have a back injury, and it is important. Walking is very important to me for exercise, so I wanted to get good shoes. Okay, so I'm willing to pay between $120 to $150, and that's fine, right? Okay, so I see Bill. I said, $300. And then she wants me to get this VIP service and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, wait a second. I said, something is not right here. You're telling me these shoes $300? No, 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 no. Shoes 149. Then she had this insole and that was like $75. And then these socks were like close to $35. And I'm like, wait a second. This is getting kind of way out of hand. I just wanted one nice pair of shoes and walk out. So I said, you got to take all that stuff out. Take out the take out the insole. I said, I don't. I said if the shoes don't have good insole, then why am I paying $149 for these shoes? If I need your insole, that means the shoes are crap. I mean, that means that $150 shoes shouldn't be $150 if I have to replace the insole and replace it with a $75 insole. Okay, that's just not right. So I said, take that out. Take the socks out. I'll wear the socks I'll wear my Costco socks. That's done me well for the last, you know, I'm in my early 50s. I said, I've never gotten a specialty socks for this. And I'm not a runner, by the way, okay? Maybe if you are a runner or a cross-country runner, this might be like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. And you're right. I am just a walk. I'm a walker. That's all I am, okay? So here are the things that I think this sales associate did wrong. The ending experience was awful. And ending is very important. I felt like this was all gimmicky. She never was transparent on saying, here, let me just tell you what these shoes are and I'll give you the pricing. Get the pricing out immediately. Every item that you give to the customer, don't wait till the end for the pricing. That is a no-no. Be transparent right up front. Tell them, look, this is expensive, but it's worth it. Then I would have been okay. Said, look, this is $75, but you got to try it to see if it's worth it. Leave the decision up to the customer. Don't decide for them without being sneaky, like, okay, I'm just going to take him at the end. He'll like it to the point where he's not even going to worry about the price. And when I saw that $300, I was like, wait a second. It was close to 300. It wasn't exactly 300. I said, this is not right. You can't do this type of gimmicky stuff. Why couldn't you have been transparent? I didn't expect the insole to be $75. I would have paid it if it was $20 because it was good insole. But then I was asking myself, if I need that insole, and then she said, if it's that insole, you need to purchase this sock. So now all of a sudden I got shoes, I got insole, I got socks, and a VIP service to reduce my total cost by $15. So they're like things piling up one after the other. And suddenly, instead of spending $150, let's say at max, I'm spending twice as much. And that's just not right, okay? So I did something that I usually don't do, but this time I made an exception. I gave this outfit a review, and I didn't give them a good review because I felt like they were trying to not be very, upfront. I mean, I didn't have any problem with service and all that, but they can't just do all these things and then say, oh, we're now going to just, since you like the shoes and you like this, now you'll be willing to pay $300. I just think they should have been much more upfront right from the beginning. That's part of being sales. So one of the things the tip I want to give from a customer service point of view is be upfront with the customer. Don't have any surprises. And when you get surprised at the end, it ruins the whole experience. And one thing I hate is have surprises at the end. I hate when a store or anybody that does that, they just lure you into thinking like, hey, I got them now. Now, because I'm friendly and all that, they'll be willing to pay anything because, hey, and yes, that would be fine if the person had told me that this is what I'm going to do. Try it. If you don't like it, I'll take it back. And there was nothing like that. The whole process, now I look at it, was designed for me to pay $300. And that just ruined my whole experience. I still purchased the shoes because that's what I came for. But I felt kind of bad afterwards. I said, why did they have to do it? And if they were going to do it in a way so that I don't feel like they were trying to cheat me in some ways. So my tip here is this. Be transparent. And don't surprise the customer at the end. Let the customer know exactly what they're going to pay before you get to the cashier and saying, okay, I just want to let you know this is $149, this is $72. Are you okay with it? So that when we go to cashier, I don't have to discuss it there. Discuss it there. I kind of felt like the whole approach was just came across very sleazy to me. I don't know what you think. If this has happened to you, I don't like this sleazy approach. Be transparent right up front. Let me understand it. Why is it so expensive? What am I going to get out of it? And why do I need a new socks? Do I really want to pay that much money? And just ask the customer. You're comfortable with it, right? Because some people don't like to pay that much. But I think it's worth it. I would buy it because if you're going to run a lot, she said, look, you're walking. You don't need the socks. And insole, you can purchase it later if you think. Try it. And if you like it, come back and purchase it or just order it online. That would have been a perfect approach. I would have even said, she didn't try to make me, she gave me options. And when you don't give people options and then just kind of take it at the end and surprise them, I think that's just not a good way to sell. It's actually amateurish. And people do this all the time. I say, don't. It just leaves a bad feeling. And I will not go to the store again. I just won't because I just didn't like that experience. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to end it here. So let me know what you think. Is this something, am I overreacting, or this is just not a good, their sales associates were not trained and they just did not know how to sell? Because, let's face it, when you're spending $149 for shoes, that's a lot of money as far as I'm concerned. And the service was fine. But then I realized that all of that was leading up to the surprise at the end. And that's something you just can't do. So the ending is what ruined the entire experience. Okay? Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and make sure that next time you go and buy something, the person is completely transparent. Otherwise, the place you're going to may be trying to rip you off. Good luck.